If game one was a ugly win, this was a ugly loss. The only beautiful thing that from this game was the fact that we got to watch the brilliance that is Shohei Ohtani, and he did what only two other people have done this year. One of them was Shohei Ohtani. The other one is Kevin Gossman. Only pitchers to strike out 10 Astros in a game, starting pitchers. So there's not a lot of positives in this game, but we will be talking about a lot of stuff on this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast that starts now.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talks Stros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can I find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter and Instagram, and at Stros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always Stros.
Alrighty, today's episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline, where the game starts. So I guess probably the experts probably had the Shohei Ohtani striking a lot of Astros, but I'm sure they had the Astros actually winning this game. But this was a epic matchup, like we kind of predicted on the past two Locked On Astros podcasts. So speaking of which, have you made the Locked On Astros podcast your first listen? You need to go ahead and do that every day. Just go to YouTube, search up Locked On Astros, and just hit the little subscribe button and make sure you get the notifications. And go ahead and listen to us on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Check out the Locked On Astros podcast. So, yeah, this was a game that Cristian Javier just didn't have his stuff like he's had in his past, 4 or 5 starts. And he still had 10 strikeouts, but he only lasted 3 2/3 innings. He only gave up 5 hits, 3 walks, 3 runs, but he threw a lot of pitches, 92 pitches total. I was kind of surprised when Dusty Baker pulled him when he did. I mean, you basically intentionally walk Shohei Ohtani and to get to Ward, and Ward hasn't got a hit off of him in his career. So you could have allowed him to pitch to him right there. But I think
Right.
Dusty Baker was like, yeah, this is not Cristian Javier's night. I know it worked out. Seth Martinez came in and struck him, Ward out, but still.
Well, when you have 10 strikeouts in 3 2/3 innings, you're going to throw a lot of pitches. That's the problem with strikeouts with this kind of game. If he would have gone to, I believe, his 11th strikeout, I don't know if it would have been an Astros record, 11 strikeouts in 4 innings. On the broadcast, they mentioned it would have been some kind of record. I don't want to misquote that. But the 3 walks, the 3 runs, the 5 hits, it's hard to believe that the Astros pitchers, Eric, had 17 strikeouts. The Angels pitchers had 15 strikeouts. And yet the Angels managed to get 12 hits. And we'll talk about when Abreu came in. A lot of people were like, I can't stand Abreu. He's terrible. He's trash. All this stuff. But I'm telling you, Abreu has not given up a run since May 23rd. This is the first run or runs he's given up. And I'll tell you about that in a little bit. I've got a little stat line that I ran on him, and he wasn't necessarily the reason why this team lost. This team lost today because they couldn't hit Shohei Ohtani. Bottom line, the guy's masterful. When he's on the mound and when he's in a groove, Eric, he is very unhittable. And his slider, oh my gosh, it fooled Altuve, it fooled Bregman. It had the Astros batters looking pretty foolish up there at times.
Yeah, and I know in the what was it, the sixth inning today, this was the oh crap inning of the day. It seems like the Astros always have this oh crap inning recently. And I know they're only charged one error, but the ball was sure being
Mm.
thrown around everywhere. It just for some reason, it's like every inning there's like this bad news bears type of inning where it just seems like they forget how to play defense. And that was when Brian Abreu was in the game, and all four of those runs, I believe, were earned. And so,
They were earned, but they were, here's the thing. In his defense, if they had not shifted, Eric, they would have gotten out of that inning with a walk and 3 outs.
yeah,
That inning would have been over. So they're earned because they get on base, because they hit. But here is the shift killing you again, and pitches going on the outside of the plate of a left-hander when nobody's on the left side of the field, and them hitting a single and scoring 2 runs, things like that. Abreu, dude, has his stuff, but I mean, and I'm just gonna read it right here. Abreu threw 14 and 1/3 innings from May 23rd till now. He allowed 0 runs, 20 strikeouts, 8 walks, and 8 Ks. Tonight, 2/3 of an inning, 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 1 walk, 2 Ks. So right there, he gave up more hits and more earned runs than he did since May 23rd, all
right.
because of the shift. I'm sorry, I'm going to blame it on the shift. And everybody knows to listen to the show. I hate the shift.
Well, yeah, and I know a lot of people complain. Well, Brayu walks a lot of batters, and we did a Spaces show before the game today, and I did some investigation because somebody was like, "Well, Eric, don't you think that the bullpen does walks way too many batters?" And we're actually fourth. We have the fourth fewest walks in terms of the bullpen, and I think that has to do with the fact that our starters go deep into the game. That's one of them, and our bullpen is normally pretty reliable. It's one of the best in baseball. And actually, Abreu is pretty high. It was like 4.05, but actually, Stanek, who's a lot of people think needs to be in the All Star team, his walk per 9 inning rate is a lot higher than Abreu. Abreu was 4.05, something like that, but Stanek's was 4.67. And if you look at today's game, Stanek did have 2 walks in this game. But Stanek has the ability to get out of the situations like he
He
typically
does.
does because he trusts in his pitches. He knows how to nibble. He knows how to get out of jams. Brayu, he's still got to figure that out. That's the difference between making him elite.
He Right. I mean, he has elite stuff. He just doesn't put it in elite places all the time. But again,
It's in his head, yeah.
people can say he's been terrible, but since May 23rd, he hasn't allowed a run. So
Right,
him calling him a terrible pitcher is not an accurate statement. He's not a terrible pitcher. He's ran into some bad luck tonight. You can't find any other game between now and then where he cost the Astros a game. Okay. Um, One of the things too that I was looking at in this game, Eric, is can you imagine what kind of pitcher Seth Martinez is going to be once this kid really becomes a mature pitcher? I mean, he's really good,
yeah,
Eric. He comes in, he's really good. The Astros were also, they weren't benefactors of it. It hurt them. CB Buckner behind the plate was calling some pitches like Blummer and Callis were both going, that was a really bad call. That
right.
was not even close. And so Shohei got a couple, he got a couple strikeouts due to that. Kyle Tucker went down. And one of these days, I really want one of these Astros players to really, I would love to see an Astros player get heated. But there was at one point where they panned, and I think it was after the oh crap inning where they scored the 4 runs. They panned over to Dusty Baker. Dusty Baker wasn't wearing glasses, wasn't wearing shades, wasn't wearing anything. He just in the dugout. He looked so annoyed. And I was like, and I go, Dusty Baker looks so annoyed because, and someone goes, his own roster moves. And I'm like, y'all are so wrong. But man, what a frustrating game.
Yeah.
What a frustrating game.
Yeah, and sometimes I think that Shohei Ohtani needs to go ahead and thank CB Buckner for this game, and he needs to go ahead and go to BlueNile.com and find something for any special occasion. And let's go ahead and talk about that, Brett.
He could probably afford it because Shohei Ohtani's making quite a bit of money. But if you're not a Shohei Ohtani income kind of person like myself, then you need to go BlueNile.com. They're the original online jeweler since 1999. They've helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Blue Nile is committed to ensuring that the highest ethical standards are observed when sourcing diamonds and jewelry. Whether you're customizing an engagement ring or designing diamond stud earrings, online jeweler Blue Nile allows you to create a bigger, more brilliant piece that you can imagine at a price you won't find at a traditional jeweler. Expert advice 24/7, legendary service with 30-day returns. When you commit to a piece, so does Blue Nile. Guaranteed service and repair for life. Diamond price guarantee. Contact Blue Nile to compare a competitor's diamond against one of ours. In most cases, we can meet or beat their prices. Not perfect? No problem. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Shop stress free with guaranteed free shipping and return. So, this is what I need you to realize. Right now, you need to make the moment sparkle with jewelry from BlueNile.com. And Locked On Astros listeners get $50 off the purchase of $500 or more. This podcast exclusive includes engagement rings. That's code locked on. Plus, every order is insured, ships free, and arrives in discreet packaging that won't give away what's inside. Shop stress free and find your forever piece. Go to BlueNile.com today.
All right, guys, it's All-Star Week coming up. Well, you got to face the A's first, but if you're looking for a place to watch the All-Star festivities or even just cover the draft is next week. All-Star Week, Draft Week, it's a lot going on next week. Why don't you try Hooters on of NASA? They've got great wings, great brews, great the world famous Hooters girls. Just go out there and tell them the guys that Locked On Astros sent you down, and they've got TVs everywhere. So if you want to see Albert Pujols hit a home run and take a shot every time, maybe he hits a home run and can actually make it. That'd be a good little game to play. But my favorite is the chicken tenders with a little bit of side of teriyaki with the curly fries. And Brett just loves the 3 Mile Island buffalo and fries. What's your favorite? So come see what all the hoot is at Hooters. And every time the Astros are playing, you can hear all the action because they love the Astros just like you love their wings. Whether you love it the original Hooter style, Daytona Beach, smoked, roasted, naked, or boneless, there's 15 plus sauces or 5 dry rubs along with the ice cold beer at Hooters of NASA. Come enjoy happy hour, or should we say happy owl specials, Monday through Friday, 3 to 6. Don't forget about Thursday with drink specials all day. Come hang out where the Locked On Astros boys like to hang out and watch the Astros games with great grubs and beer. And ask them what their special beers on tap. And ask GM Rosie why she still wears black socks since October 26, 2005. I have a feeling I know why. So go check them out. They're conveniently located on NASA Value Shopping Center and Baybrook Mall in Webster, Texas. Come see them for lunch, after work, for dinner, or to celebrate for any special occasion. Alrighty, so All-Star Games coming up. Brett, are you super
Yeah.
excited about that?
Here's the thing. I actually am. I mean, I'm excited for the nursing home run derby. I mean, the home run derby. I'm excited. I'm excited for the futures game. We got Yonder, was it, I believe, right? Yonder
Yeah.
Diaz
Mhm.
and Hunter Brown are going to be
Right.
participating in that game. That will be very cool to see. That's great exposure for them. I really wish Ryan Stanek was going to the All Star game. I really wish Martinez had more innings under his belt. I mean, heck, you could even make a case for Montero, but like you said, you can't send everybody. Um, and so the All Star game, the All Star weekend is definitely something fun for all fans. And it's going to have kind of a cool nostalgic feel because you will have Miguel Cabrera playing with Justin Verlander. You'll have Albert Pujols there. And so that will be a nice nod. I kind of like them inviting them to their last All-Star game. I watched something, and this is a Yankee moment. So I know it's locked on Astros, but and
We're talking about
when
the fight.
no, I'm not talking about a fight. When I was remembering when Mariano Rivera pitched his last game, when he was called out off the mound instead of the pitching coach coming out, Derek Jeter and Andy Pettitte came out to take him off the mound. And it was so cool. Like Rivera bawled like a baby. And it was just one of the coolest send offs that you saw from a home crowd. He had endured himself to those home fans. That's how I envision when Jose Altuve one day retires as an Astro. That's how I want to see Kyle Tucker retiring as an Astro. But I think it's something I hope they add each year. If there's a significant superstar that's leaving the game, that they give them this all-star nod. I think it's an honorable thing to do.
Yeah, we have two more players to the home run derby if you care. Jose
Yeah,
Ramirez accepted the invitation to the home run
good.
derby, and Mariners, the surging Mariners, who going to be thorn in the Astros sides, Julio Rodriguez has
Oh,
accepted the
really?
invitation to
Wow.
the home run derby. So
Okay,
that
so
leaves one more spot open. And how is it not going to be Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? It's got to be him, right?
I don't I don't know. I mean, so yeah, I'm not looking at the list in front of me, but I would think that I mean, there are plenty of guys out there that can hit home runs
Yeah,
that
but he's
should.
he's done it before, and like
He has done it before. But I don't know how he's doing this year home run wise. I'm not even looking at it. Is
the Blue
he
Jays have fired their manager because they are
They
in
did.
yes,
Dude,
they,
dude,
they're in
the
what fourth place.
so here's the thing. I mean, who wants to talk about a loss? I mean, there's all kinds of great storylines in baseball right now. The Blue Jays fired their manager. The Royals aren't sending 10. I think they're not playing because they can't send 10 players to Canada because they didn't get the COVID vaccine.
Oh, really?
And yes, did you hear what Bobby Witt Jr. said? It
No.
got out what he said. So instead of just saying, well, it was a personal choice, I chose not to get vaccinated, he literally said, and I asked Rylan Stiles to confirm this, the Locked On Royals host. He said, I play for a team that's 16 to 18 games under 500. I'm not going to get vaccinated to go play the Blue Jays. If we were in contention for a playoff spot, I would go get vaccinated today or something like that. And I'm like, what a PR nightmare for the Kansas City Royals. So
Wow.
hey, I mean, we lost to the Angels, but we could have a whole lot other issues. I mean, the Blue Jays firing their manager. Now, from what the Blue Jays hosts are saying, it has not been going well there. I just don't know how much of that is the manager's fault.
No.
Managers always are the first ones to go to get the axe, but the Blue Jays, I mean, you remember Vladimir Guerrero saying, y'all saw the trailer. This next year, you're going to see the movie. Like, you're going to see, like, the real production of what we've been building here, this winning tradition. I think part of that, they lost Robbie Ray, which I was still shocked that he left Toronto. They just haven't been able to put wins together, and they've got this powerful offense. They've got these huge bats and these big names. Baseball just, I mean, gosh, the East is all 500 or over. I mean, it's really kind of an exciting year for baseball.
Guerrero has 20 home runs this year.
Okay.
He's got a 832 OPS. He's batting 266 though. George Springer has 17 home runs. He's got an 812 OPS, but he's batting 250. Chapman's got 13 home runs. Bo Bichette has 14 home runs. Alejandro
So are
Kirk
they
has
so are
10.
looking so are they looking for American League home runs? Is that
I
what
think
they're
so.
I mean, okay, so they're looking for AL participants. And you said Jose Ramirez just accepted, and they need one more. Is rough? Let's see. I guess Mike Trout's
Yeah.
hurt. Is Byron Buxton in the home run derby?
They haven't found the next person, so I don't know who's
Okay,
going to be
so
in it.
here are the guys that would be leading that aren't in it. Stanton's not in it, is he?
No. And I
Okay,
don't know if
so
any of the Yankees guys are going to be
okay,
in it because
right,
the Yankees will have to play right the Astros, and that's going to
true.
be the epic matchup of
It
the
will.
ALCS
So
futures.
So here are the guys you could pick. I mean, Buxton's only batting 208, but he's got 23 home runs. You have Corey Seager's got 21 home runs. Rafael Devers, 19. Jose Altuve, 17. Jose Altuve should so do the home run derby. Kyle Tucker's got 17. Why not throw him in there? I mean, um, Eugenio Suarez, Adolis Garcia. Heck, dude, Adolis Garcia would be a great guy for the home run derby. I mean, there are some names that are there. I mean, but who knows?
Can you imagine Jose Altuve doing it at Dodger Stadium? That would actually be epic. I don't think he'll do it, but I could just imagine that all the boos every time he hits a home run. That would actually be epic. So,
That would
um, huh?
that would be epic.
Yeah. So the team that we need to kind of worry about right now is the Mariners. The Mariners are on a pretty good winning streak recently, and they're 47-42. They're 11 games behind the Astros now, and so they've been kind of doing a lot better. So I know after the All-Star break, you're going to face them 7 out of 10 times after the Yankees. So you're going to see them a lot. So those 7 games, you got to play really good baseball against them and just show that you are still the king of the AL West. Not that it really matters this early. You still have a big enough lead, but that 11 games, that's going to go pretty quick. You see
It
the
could go
Orioles.
quick, but I
Yeah.
mean, they've been playing the Nationals. They've been playing some pretty subpar teams. This 10 game win streak is not. Yeah, it's a 10 game win streak, and it's not easy to win 10 games even against bad teams. But it's not like, I mean, let's be honest. It's not like they've been beating the Yankees and the Mets and the Dodgers, right? They haven't been beating great teams. They've been beating teams they're supposed to beat. And this, Rodriguez is hitting 274 is a big part of it. But if you look at their lineup, they've got Rodriguez is the only guy that has an OPS of 807. They've got
Right.
3 guys in the 700s. So they've apparently been doing it with pitching, not necessarily hitting. If the Astros can consistently put up crooked numbers on the board early in these games against the Mariners, and if their pitchers can just do what they've been doing, holding the line, relief pitching can be reliable, I don't see the Astros losing more games than the Mariners when they meet up for these games.
Yeah. What's interesting about the Angels, I'm just looking at the divisions. They are 16-18 against the East. They're 9-5 against the Central. They're 18-18 against the West, and
Hmm.
they're 6-9 against the National League. So
Interesting. So they're at
that's
500 against the worst division in baseball. So that tells me they're not that good.
yeah, a team that they
I'm
play a
just
lot.
saying,
So yeah,
I'm not concerned about the Mariners. And I'm not saying you don't respect them, and I'm not saying you don't go to play. It's good that they're playing well because the
right,
Astros play better against better teams.
right.
They just do. I mean, look at tonight.
Right. So I'm a bet that the Astros are going to do pretty good coming up because they're still playing. They still have a easier schedule, and the Mariners are probably going to be the toughest team they're going to face. So let's talk
Probably.
about Bet Online.
Yeah, so betonline.net is your number one source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's NHL playoffs and Major League Baseball. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores. And betonline.net remains the best spot for all your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. BetOnline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check in on all your favorite sports and events, including MMA, boxing, and golf. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Alrighty. So Shohei Ohtani, once again, he dominated the Houston Astros for 6 innings, 12 strikeouts, allowed 1 earned run. And I believe
Hmm.
that this is the first time he allowed an earned run
Yeah,
in quite a while. Let me see. I
and
have it.
it is a in 31.2 innings,
Yes.
he was scoreless. And
Since
Eric,
June 9th. Yeah.
yeah, and he became the second pitcher in Angels history with 10 strikeouts 4 games in a row. So only Nolan Ryan's the only other Angel that had done that. So, I mean, what he's doing, he's throwing 100 miles an hour and he's hitting a triple.
And then pitching,
It's an
striking out Jose Altuve like 8 minutes later. It's like
yeah, it's
it's
insane.
it's inhuman. It's like he's a robot android out there just going out there. I am Shohei Ohtani. I am gonna strike you,
Yeah,
throw you out.
is Shohei Ohtani a human being on the next Locked On Astros?
Yeah. So, yeah, Seth Martinez came in and did a good job. But one thing that we do not know about is Jason Castro, and the Astros are still waiting word about his prognosis and when his timetable for returning is. And the big topic from today is, what do you do with Corey Lee? He's kind of just, I know he did get some garbage time, so to speak, today. Uh, in the last couple of innings, and he's gonna start every time Jake Odorizzi starts. But this is the future catcher for the Houston Astros. Dusty Baker typically likes to play guys, but he's also typically the guy that says, well, is it better to have a young kid observing the big leaguers versus getting the playing time in their minor leagues? So the Astros, now that they think that Castro may be out for extended time, the Astros have to decide, well, what are we going to do with Corey Lee? Is it better because they don't have anybody ready in AAA?
Well, if Castro is not going to play anymore, Corey Lee is here to stay. This is what Castro's going to do. He's going to retire.
Yes, but
Castro,
that
mark my
still doesn't
words.
answer what the question is.
What is the
You
question?
if you're going to have Martin Maldonado play 4 out of every 5 games, then you're not giving Corey Lee enough time to learn how to play baseball at the big league level.
Yes and no. Yeah, I mean he does need probably 2 catches out of 5. And I mean tonight, no offense, tonight Martin Maldonado looked tired. He looked
Yeah,
tired behind the plate. And you've got to give that guy a rest. He has his second most caught games on the season of any catcher.
right,
He's at the point in his career they need to like loosen the parameters of how much they're babying Corey Lee. Odorizzi, he will start every time Odorizzi is out there. That's a guarantee. He needs another one. Maybe put him in there with Verlander. Castro was Verlander's catcher. Corey Lee can be Verlander's catcher. Verlander pitches in a way that I think that his movement isn't so like mystical. Like having him catch Javier is probably why he didn't catch him because the way Javier's ball moves, right?
right.
So Verlander's got a more simplistic up and down side motion whenever whatever his breaking pitches do. Okay, rising fastball, things like that. So I think you put Lee in with Verlander and Odorizzi, and if Martin needs another day off, then you just put in Corey Lee. I mean, he's your guy. You're not going to bring up Mania. I believe it's not. Is it? I'm sorry. Um, is it Sean? I said Mania. That's a pitcher. There is a
There is a
catcher in
Mania.
AAA.
Yeah,
Okay. It is. It is Mania down there in AAA, and then you have Diaz. You're not going to bring up Diaz. Neither one of those guys are on the 40-man roster. You don't really have any other choice. You
right.
have to keep Corey Lee up. So, I mean,
Unless
that
you make a
is
trade for a backup catcher, and
yeah, you could, but I just don't know why you would get a backup catcher.
It's
Like,
it's
why?
it's about playing time. If you're not gonna play Corey Lee almost every day, then he needs to get the playing time in AAA. That's what a lot of people are wondering. So
Mm,
that's the argument that I'm having here. I mean, I want Corey Lee up here, but I think he needs to be playing more. And I think that
I
what
agree.
we're seeing is that pitchers tend to have a personal catcher and they like to have Martin Maldonado, but not everybody can have Martin Maldonado. He can only date so many people.
Oh, wait,
They've got
easy,
to move
easy.
other people.
Hey,
You know what I
this
mean?
isn't the dating game, Eric. Eric's all bringing relationships into this. No, but Martin Maldonado can basically allow Corey Lee to date the pitcher, and he'll be on the bench with the earpiece saying, "Okay, say this," you
Right.
know. make sure you order this on the menu kind of thing. Like you could do that, right? You
Mhm.
could totally I mean, he's there, his presence. And so the presence of Martine, it could be the presence of Martine kind of thing. And I don't know. Give Corey Lee more shots. This kid needs more at bats. He needs to be more of a regular starter. And Martine's admitted it. This is our future catcher. He is our guy. And so, man, I just want to see this kid do really well because I think he's got high hopes. Because he may not be a catcher his whole career. He probably end up being a first baseman when it's all said and done.
Yeah, Chas McCormick batted second today because Dusty Baker said that he's had relative success in 4 at bats or 2 at bats against Otani's career, and so
And
that's why he
oh,
batted.
okay.
And so he went 0 for 4.
Hmm.
But
Well,
it's Otani. Tucker struck out 3 times. Gurriel, I mean, maybe it wasn't against all Otani, but it just was one of those games. But on a positive note, Altuve got a stolen base. Tucker got a stolen base, but Jake Myers got thrown out because he actually stole the base, but then he popped up
I think his
and
glove pushed his foot up. I think he was forcing the foot off the bag, but whatever. I'm a little biased, but yes,
yes,
it
you are.
was. I saw the replay. He came off the bag. I was like, dang it! I was like, come on! I was like, y'all are challenging this, you jerks. You're up 7-1. Give
And
me a
how
break.
did we lose to a team? Martin Maldonado had that double that hit off the center fielder, and then the right fielder tripped over himself. Joe Adele tripped over himself to try to go to the ball.
Hey,
It's like, how do you lose to that team? It's like,
hey, Martin Maldonado cannot carry this team, guys.
yeah, you got to have more than just his hits. I mean, he had 2 hits in his. He had half of the hits in his game.
He's Martin Maldonado was the Astros offense. Take that, Martin Maldonado haters.
So the good news for Astros fans is that Shohei Ohtani will not be on the mound for the Houston Astros
Oh,
for the Angels tomorrow.
oh, that's
So
good.
it's going
Yeah,
to be Framber Valdez versus Reed Detmers, and so
yes.
Valdez, the All Star, will be on the mound for the Astros. Reed Detmers, he's faced the Astros a couple times. Altuve has a home run. Aledmys Diaz has a home run. So hopefully Diaz will be back in the lineup. JJ Medjevic didn't really do anything today. And you have Shohei Ohtani with a home run against Valdez, but batting 130 and 23 at bats. So he's faced him a lot. And you have Luis Rengifo with 1 home run, batting 154. And then you have Jared Walsh batting 400 with 1 home run, and Taylor Ward batting 462. So those are guys have faced Framber Valdez. So the recipe for success is Valdez going deep in this game because Cristian Javier did not.
That's true. They need to do that, and they need to walk out of this with a serious win so they can return home before they go on the All Star break. But what's cool is this weekend, Eric, Friday, they're giving away Space City jersey, I believe, Framber
Mhm.
Valdez jersey. Saturday, all fans get the Jose Altuve Space City bobblehead. I'm jealous I'm not going. And they have a special add on Apollo landing Jose Altuve
Jose Altuve, yeah.
bobblehead. And then Sunday they're giving away a plush orbit,
Orbit, yeah.
like an
Greeny,
orbit,
Greeny
like
baby or something.
greeny
Yeah.
baby, yeah, something. So a lot of cool things. And next week we'll be announcing another partnership with a local ticket company, and we'll tell you all about that on starting on the 20th.
Speaking of that, go ahead and do another announcement for your
Oh
Jake
yeah.
Myers.
Well, I'm not. Imagine I'm holding in my hand a Jake the Rake Myers bobblehead. I really have it. It's back there in the background. If you go to the email and you put in the subject heading Jake Myers bobblehead, and then in that email, it's locked on Astros at gmail.com. No caps, no spaces. Locked on Astros at gmail.com. And you go in there. I'm still holding my hand like I'm holding this fake bobblehead. And in the body of the email, screenshot a picture of your being subscribed to Locked On Astros on YouTube, and we will enter your name. I will stop
Can
the
I enter?
entries Saturday. Can you enter? I don't know if people of the company are allowed to. Sure, you can enter. Dude,
Ooh,
just
I know who can enter. Okay, never mind.
you have someone who can enter,
Yes.
and it's going to be a random drawing.
Okay.
So hopefully it's not someone with the first name with starts the letter M. But
Yes.
anyways, I digress. So do that. Please enter, and we love doing this. And if you win, I'm gonna probably send you a request for like a $5 Venmo to help with offset the cost of shipping. And we'll have some more giveaways throughout the year. We've got some stuff from Hooters that I've received a while back that we do need to give away. We'll talk about that when you get off your vacations. You're like, is this like your 8th cruise this summer?
All right, just throw me in a bus here. All right, that's all we get for this edition of Locked On Astros podcast. Hopefully, we'll be talking tomorrow about Astros victory. My name is Eric Huysman. This is Brett H. Town Wheelhouse. We are the Locked On Astros podcast, your team every day. Go Astros.